Ladies and gentlemen, let's give it up for your fearless leader.
You got it, dude.
Let's go.
All right.
And here we go.
Welcome back to the Here We Go podcast. I am Trent Ging, David Korb, and Colin Phillips. All three of us here. We may get a sneak appearance from somebody here tonight. We'll see how it plays out. But until then, fellas, how are we doing?
Good. Ready for the natty here in about an hour.
Yeah. I was going to say you both sound extremely excitable right now. All right. Anyway, let's get to some of the things that have been going on in the NFL, namely the NFL playoffs. I'm just going to throw out a generalized question before we talk about any certain game. Any of these games or anything this weekend stand out to you? You guys have one that you had as a favorite or anything?
Chris Shula, future Steelers head coach, called an absolute gem yesterday against Ben Johnson. I thought that was worth noting. On the other hand, though, I thought Dennis Allen was absolutely in his bag against McVay in the Rams offense. So that was honestly a really good game. That Houston New England game was just, guys, I mean, we can never have that again. I can never see that again. Like, I refuse to watch CJ Stroud and Drake May in the playoffs again. Like, that was really bad. Another absolute heartbreaker for Josh Allen. I mean, we'll get into that because I have a lot to say about the Bills. But, hey, man, good for Denver, good for Bo Nix, good for Sean Payton. I've always been a Sean Payton supporter. You guys both know that. So, pretty happy to see. Sucks about Bo getting hurt.
Yeah, I'm sick for Bo.
I'm sick for Bo, too.
Horrible.
But,
horrible.
You know, is what it is.
That takes a lot of air out of the sails whenever you lose the quarterback who gets you to that position, right? Second to last play of the game, I think is what they said it was, something like that.
It was. That's what they said. Yeah.
Dang, man. I mean,
he even walked out of there. Like,
yeah,
I'd have never thought it. Nothing.
No, the way he walked off the field, I thought he got rolled up on or just something minor, and then they're celebrating, and shortly after, the news comes out, he's out for the playoffs.
So, the Patriots-Texans game, I was so fucking pissed. Like, just absolutely pissed off. Because all I could think to myself is, we fucking lost to that. I'm sitting there, I'm just like, does everybody understand now why we needed change? Like, we couldn't beat Stroud. That was one of the worst playoff performances I've seen combined by a quarterback in a long time. What did they say? 5 interceptions, 5 fumbles he had?
Yeah.
In a playoff? Like,
yeah.
Dude.
6 it was 6 interceptions? 5.
I thought it was 5.
Something like that. It was ridiculous.
He's probably throwing one while we're talking right now, for all I know. But, like, dude, it was bad.
It was 4 interceptions and a fumble. Sorry.
Yeah, just awful. And it's just to sit here and be like, we let that guy convert 10 of 13 third downs against us.
Yeah.
Like, we let him put up 30. Well, some of it was the defense. But anyways, like just to give people an idea of how bad we needed change because we couldn't even compete with that. And the Patriots, Jesus, even all the turnovers they had, they still put up points against that defense and still found a way to win that game easily. Honestly, I mean, Stroud made it easy, but still,
right.
I didn't think the Pats defense. Because here's the thing, yeah, Stroud was bad, but some of those interceptions were like really good, nice catches by them. 2 or 3 of them were them diving and making a hell of a catch. So their defense for the Patriots, it actually, in my opinion, showed up. But it's just
Carlton Davis one was ridiculous, where he got the knee down just in bounds. That was just a ridiculous catch.
But it shows everyone just how far behind the Steelers really are. They were not even in the there you go. They're not even in the same stratosphere as these other teams. They just weren't. Yeah. And it's tough, but it's the truth. And luckily, Tomlin stepped up and stepped down for us.
Yes.
So, yeah.
Outside of Bo Nix, is there anybody you feel worse for than that Texans defense? I mean, think about how they held that game together for as long as they held it together. I mean, the floodgates, they were on the wrong side of the 50 on those turnovers a lot of times. I mean, they were giving some terrible field position to work with, and they didn't give up any points for 2.5 quarters off of all those turnovers. I mean, 2.5 quarters, they give up nothing. Nothing. That's crazy in playoff football. So I felt horrible for them. I thought that was a wasted, great defense, just completely wasted. Seattle and San Francisco game, I mean, did anybody expect that kind of a beatdown?
Not that
41-6?
No.
No, I mean, I didn't bet on anything, but to the people that were betting that I know, I was like, hey, I'm thinking, San Fran's going to keep it close. Shanahan is just what he did this year beyond warrants Coach of the Year. I mean, brother, he had David Korab, Trent Ging, and Colin Phillips starting at linebacker in corner for like 80% of the season, and they went and won. What didn't they go like 12-5? They didn't have Purdy for what, half the year.
Right.
I mean, their whole offense was just honestly a masterclass of a season for Shanahan. Obviously, it was guaranteed to fall apart at some point, but the fact that they got there is truly an indictment on how amazing of a coach Shanahan is. And that's, again, those two teams, I mean, Seattle and San Fran, like Corb said, Pittsburgh isn't even in the same stratosphere as either of those teams.
Yeah, they're not.
I mean,
they're just not.
It wasn't even close. I mean, or Denver, or even Buffalo. I mean, we got blown out by Buffalo.
Them.
Yeah,
any of them. Like, really? What, the
Yeah.
Panthers? Is the Panthers the only one that maybe, like, we're close to? Then they had a losing record. So, what's that say?
Yeah.
Like, or the Bears. The Bears have a bad regression coming next year.
I have
They have a really brutal regression because
it's hard for me to read them, though. Like, are they legit? Are they not legit? I mean, Caleb Williams makes that incredible throw to tie the game. Then the awful interception in overtime.
Well, that's the thing. That's the thing with the Bears is, like, I mean, you look at that, like, look at their schedule and the games that they've won. Like, to a box score watcher, you're going to sit there and be like, oh, the Bears are awesome. Not really. Like, the amount of just unreal comebacks that just kind of they pulled out of their ass, or, the tale as old as time. The one score record is always going to call for a regression. The turnover differential during the year was nuts. I mean, I'm saying this as a guy who roots for the Packers and roots for Jordan Love. You can't sit there and tell me that if the Packers don't give up that 28-3 comeback that they don't beat the Rams on Sunday night. Because from what I had seen, that Rams team looked very beatable. I thought Sean McVay did not call a good game. Stafford looked bad. Defense, the pass rush was non-existent. I mean, Love with a clean pocket was the highest grade on PFF by far this year. Just overall, it was just frustrating as a neutral Packers enjoyer watching that Rams-Bears game. Like, dude, the Packers could have just beaten the shit out of both these teams tonight. So that's, I guess, to answer Trent's question, that's who I also feel bad.
Did Stafford look old? Like, that's how he looked to me. Like,
I don't know. I kind of wondered if that cold weather was bothering his finger, because it was the index finger where you drive the ball. I wondered how much.
When you get old, the cold hurts you when you get old. So
yeah. I don't know.
This might be his last year.
Think?
If he goes out on top, you mean? Or just in general?
I still have the Rams winning it all. I think if that does happen, he's done.
Could be. We'll see. That'll be interesting to see how that plays out. I watched back our Friday show, and I said that this might be the first game all season where Ben Johnson gets out coached. And actually, I kind of feel like I don't know. I mean, on the offensive side of the ball, yes, but it was like both defensive coordinators were the ones out coaching the offensive coordinators in this game. But both DCs were in their bag. I mean, there's no doubt about it.
Yeah, it was Shula out coaching Ben Johnson.
Yeah.
Really. And I'll say, yeah. Oh, Cora, but we have that's going to be a fun one. But I thought Shula definitely outcoached Ben Johnson. But I don't know if this is me and how much I love and admire Sean McVay. I don't know if Dennis Allen necessarily. Again, I'll say it again. I thought Stafford kind of let him down. I really did. I thought Stafford just was not good, was not adequate. I would have liked McVay. True. I would have liked McVay to run the ball more. But even then, I thought Stafford just totally let him down. Like, there were a lot of throws that he left way out there. He was kind of all over the place, especially in like that second to third quarter area. I know that those first couple drives he was fine, and he was pretty nails at the end. But I thought he kind of let him down in the middle third of that game.
Well, it was interesting because the Rams had most of their success running the football, but they just wouldn't do it. I mean, Kyron Williams was having a game, really, for the touches that he was getting. I thought he had a really, really good game in that one, and they just were not feeding him the ball. And Caleb Williams, man, I mean, that kid is still exactly what he was at USC. He's a guy who, like, it gets hot and cold at times. And, like, when he is at his best, like, he looks like a complete freak of nature. And then when he just goes into, like, the same guy who refuses to play within structure, which is what the Ben Johnson offense is, it's timing. It's all timing based, which is why the pairing never made sense to me. And maybe he needs another year with Caleb to, like, get Caleb to really understand, like, hey, dude, like, I need you to hit your drop, and this ball needs to go right here on this time. And maybe that'll play out better next year for them. But Caleb, man, he goes rogue way too often, and in that offense, it's I don't know, it's weird. So if that kid ever figures it out, he's got the talent. I don't see him as much more than a middle of the road quarterback because he's so hot and cold to me. And people are going to massacre me for that, but that's what I saw. And it played out in this game. He had moments of brilliance, and they had 3 interceptions.
Yeah.
That's who he is. That's just who he is.
He gets careless. That's just how he is. He plays a wild game, man. I put it in the chat. What did you? So I wanted to give the Bears credit draft wise, going and getting Odunze and then doubling back and going and getting Burden, because they both showed up in this game along with Moore. And that's one thing I wanted to give the Bears credit for, was drafting those guys back to back, getting that wide receiver to have 3 of them for this playoffs. And look, they almost pulled it off.
And going out and getting DeAndre Swift and getting both the tight ends and getting Monangai in the late rounds. And I mean, like, they've put together a lot of pieces around Caleb. And if they, I mean, their pass pro is ridiculous, and their run game is that was a top 10 offense.
What round did they give Monangai?
7th,
6th, 7th. Yeah, I was gonna say it was late. I loved him. I don't know if you guys, Colin, do you remember me talking about that kid coming out? I loved that kid.
Remember, there's a few people who are big fans of Monangai.
I loved watching him in the Big Ten, and sometimes you never know how guys are going to translate when they're not like the true all-around backs. You don't know what kind of reps they're going to get in the NFL, and that's kind of how I felt like Monangai fell in. But, man, he's big, powerful dude. You felt like he was going to find a way to get on a roster somewhere.
How does that make you guys feel about KJ now? Like, do you still feel like he's going to be – it's the end of the season, so do you guys still feel like he's going to get there? Because you guys were high on him.
Very
and I'm not talking shit. I'm just saying, like, do you still feel that way? Do you feel like he's going to be the guy?
I'd love to know what the disconnect is. I don't know if they just – the one mistake really put him in Tomlin's doghouse and it ended his season, basically. Or was he not getting something? Did they just fall in love with the combination of Kenneth Gainwell and Jalen Warren? Did they get more out of Gainwell than what they thought they were going to? And that really hurt his draft stock. I mean, I was on the record, and I Colin, I think you were kind of in the same boat. I didn't want a guy before the 4th round. I did not want to draft a guy that early at the running back position. I just look at Bashal Tootin for Jacksonville. Look what he did. He went after. I mean, there's so many of these guys that you could have got later in the draft that I just felt like, Colin, you and I talked a lot about Devin Neal. Now, he's a guy who we thought was a very similar runner, and he didn't turn into anything so far this year either. So it's just it's so hit and miss on that position. But I still think there's a place for KJ. It depends now. Everything's up in the air because Who's your OC? What's their run scheme going to look like? Does he fit that run scheme? He's only played in his own run scheme his entire career. If you don't bring in that same scheme, does he even fit it?
Well, that's the thing. He fit. That was the thing that we liked about him, was that he fit with the Arthur Smith scheme. But Arthur Smith's not going to be on the roster or on the staff next year. Exactly. So I don't really know exactly what it's going to be there. I also think the Gainwell and Warren thing, I don't think it was necessarily a coaching thing. I think it was a Rodgers thing. Rodgers, I mean, you saw how he talked about Gainwell, how, Gainwell was always that guy, because, he wanted to get the ball out quick and stuff. Gainwell was that guy there. I mean, hell, he led the team in targets and receptions. So, I mean, that certainly plays into it. But no, I don't think that the front office is going to light a third-round pick on fire that quick. I mean, you can't do that. So
shouldn't no.
And to Trent's point, like, I agree. I think me and him both agree that fourth round was kind of the sweet spot, because that's what the class was last year. There was a large quantity, but they were all like late day 2, early to mid day 3 guys.
Tons of them.
Like there wasn't
there was the top end of the draft, right?
Yeah,
there was
the first,
the
like,
Genty,
3 guys.
There was
Hampton.
And we saw it. Yeah, Hampton was another guy
Henderson.
who, unfortunately, he got hurt and missed a good chunk of his rookie season, which hurt him. But
then
Travion and Judkins, and then it was big drop off.
Yep.
Then there's your next tier below them.
Tootin, Jadon Blue, Martinez, and all those guys. Manon guy.
Jarquez Hunter.
That's Collins, dude. He was he loved him.
He'll be in the NFC Championship next week.
Yeah. I don't know. I feel like once you get past those elite talent guys, the gap's not big enough to go that high in the draft and go get a guy.
Well, that's the thing.
If you're not taking a guy in the first, you don't need a guy until the fourth. That's how I've kind of always felt.
No, and unfortunately, again, like, it was a bitch because we didn't play him and he was our only day 2 pick.
Exactly.
That was the bitch of it. We didn't have a second, so we wasted a third round on a guy that didn't touch the field. Yep. And then it's like, okay, what do you do now? So they end up going with rotational edge rusher, third string core. It wasn't a disaster draft, obviously, but there was a lot of things that I would have done differently. And it definitely starts with that Caleb Johnson pick.
And Showers bringing up KJ and Roman, both guys, third round picks. That
the new regime,
anything out of. And Will Howard, I mean, we'll see what they end up doing.
You draft guys in the 6th round to be high end backups. That's all it is. You draft guys in the 6th round to be high end backups. You don't draft guys in the 6th round to start year 2. That's just kind of the reality of it. But it's, the way I'm looking at it right now with the guys that were for some reason in the Tomlin doghouse, with like Peyton Wilson not getting any snaps, and Caleb Johnson, Roman Wilson, et cetera, those guys, like, I'm excited to see what the new regime actually will do with those guys, because, we knew with Tomlin, he had a weird gimmick against rookies. He definitely played favorites. You know how that went. I mean, we dealt with it for years. Yeah, we dealt with it for years. Loves guys that are 31 plus, but excited to see what the new regime will do with those Tomlin doghouse players.
Yeah, nobody loves the 31-year-olds like Dave did. Dave was a big fan of Tomlin and 31-year-olds.
Dave loves his 31-year-olds.
All right, so let's speaking of regime change, let's kind of get into some of that stuff right now. So obviously Tomlin stepped down. We've all kind of given some thoughts about that. I'm not going to kind of beat that thing like a dead horse. But we have had some interviews scheduled already. I'm going to kind of read through some of the names here that we have. Anthony Weaver got 2 interviews. Either of you guys got some thoughts on Anthony Weaver? Because I have some thoughts and none of them are good.
Yeah, why? That's mine. Why is this guy getting a second interview? What has he done that is so impressive? I think I saw Dave put it up there. What, Dolphins defense was 25th?
Yeah, 25th, 26th, and like
almost yards,
every category
or something. Yeah, what is impressive about that? I don't get it. I don't get it. This guy, coached with the Ravens too?
He was a
Ravens player.
He was a
defensive.
Was he a pass rush guy, defense, an edge
D-line,
coach or something, D-line coach, something. I forget exactly what his title was for the Baltimore. I know he was involved in, because I did see one person bring that up and talked about like he was there and helped with the edge guys whenever they had their big sack season and stuff like that. And I'm like, oh, okay. Does that qualify you to be a head coach? I mean, we see he takes the next step up, which is DC, and like even when Jalen Phillips was there, they sucked. I mean, they trade him away. I can understand a little bit, but man, like they had Minka Fitzpatrick in the secondary, and he was kind of like their only good player for most of the season. So I didn't get the appeal with him. The only thing I've ever seen anybody explain realistically is like the NFL really likes him. I'm like, okay, but like it doesn't quantify you as a good coach. That just you're a likable guy. Great. I don't know.
There's 150 likable guys in the NFL. I don't get it either, brother. I said I'm saying the same thing you guys are saying. Like, there's 150 guys that I consider likable in the NFL. That doesn't qualify them to be the head coach of the Pittsburgh football fucking Steelers. I'm sorry. I don't know. And I don't know if it's the DEI Rooney Rule gimmick thing, but like I'm like, come on, this guy, like the 25th best defense. Like I get it. You had no good players. I mean, he definitely maximized his linebackers. Like, Jordan Brooks had a career year, but I don't know. I don't know. Could be a smokescreen. I know Baltimore's interested as well, but I say, why?
Well, we're hearing like when it comes to the other guys, like we're hearing that like say Shieldhouse is the next McVay, or they say Clay Kubiak is a stud, or like we're hearing all these things, but you don't hear anything about this guy at all. Like no one has come out and said fucking anything about him.
He is fucking likable though, Corum. He is fucking likable, buddy.
Get the fuck out of here.
Well, the one thing we do have to put into account is like, the Kubiak, Shieldhouse, and Shula their season's still going. So
yeah, sure.
That's the one thing. And I think Alan Saunders posted it today that after the NFC Championship game, win or lose, is when you could start doing in-person stuff with those guys. So we'll just have to wait a week.
I'm clinging to hope that that's why Clint Kubiak has not been one of the names mentioned yet.
We're going to save the guys that are still coaching.
Do we get him virtual?
Not Clint.
No. Clint cannot because he's still going. Mike McCarthy. What are we thinking about Mike McCarthy? I feel like this is a courtesy interview, personally.
I agree.
And he's a
Pittsburgh
guy. That's it.
He's out of coaching. Hey, you want to come in for an interview and
I just
kick the tires around.
Right. That's all it is.
Yeah. Either of you have anything else to say about that? Because I honestly feel like it's a courtesy
McCarthy?
interview. Yeah.
It's a courtesy interview. That's it.
Yeah.
That's it.
Okay. So you brought up Clay Kubiak. So now, Corb, I'm going to let you start with this one because you actually were the first person that I had seen kind of really bring his name up and talk about him seriously. How do you feel about Clay possibly being a guy that we look at as a head coach?
Well, Clay, the only reason why I brought him up was the fact that it was like, hey, Clint's not the only one that's been in this 49ers system under Shanahan. He's been there for a while too. When I looked up the coaching staff and everything 2 years ago, when I saw they had 42 coaches on the fucking team to our 26, I was like, holy fuck. So I started looking at names. I saw, there's 2 Kubiaks. And Clint has went on to be pretty good offensive coordinator. And now Clay took a spot. And look what the 49ers have done with this team with all these injuries to Kittle, to McCaffrey, to Juwan Jennings, to Pierce. All these guys have been injured, and they're still fucking putting up points. They're still going 12-5. But then when I see Shanahan bring up, hey, Clay's a fucking stud, that to me is like, okay, this guy, he's not getting a lot of, nobody's really looking at him, but they're talking him up pretty good. And so he must be doing something right. And he's in that tree because that's my thing, man. The most consistent people right now are the Rams and the 49ers, besides like the Chiefs, obviously. But those guys have just been the most consistent, and every single one that goes out from there is successful. So they got something going right, and that's why I want someone from one of those 2 trees.
I agree. What about you, Colin? How do you feel about Clay?
I'm cool with either Kubiak. Gary Kubiak, was a great coach in this league. Clint, I mean, I had put down with him like Vikings QBs and OC from 19 to 21. So Kevin O'Connell, Broncos assistant with quarterbacks 2016 to 18, and then 2022. Gary Kubiak, 49ers pass game. That's Shanahan, Saints OC last year, Seahawks OC, Mike McDonald. I mean, he's worked under anybody and everybody you could possibly want with Clint. I was late to the party on the Clay Kubiak thing, but I mean, hell, you work under Shanahan. It's tough to go wrong there. Yeah. I would prefer Clint just because clearly a lot more experience, and also, again, it's tough to fuck things up when you work under Kevin O'Connell, Gary Kubiak, Kyle Shanahan, and Mike McDonald. I mean, that's
pretty good.
Yeah,
pretty tough to fuck things up there. But
and when all of those guys want you, that says a lot about you as a play caller too.
Right. So I'll say it the third time. It's pretty tough to fuck that up. So I don't know a lot about Clay Kubiak, but
I mean, they all, if they come from the tree of either Shanahan or McVay, like it's tough to go wrong. And almost all of these guys have come out to be pretty solid coaches at worst,
right,
or better. I mean, that's just the way that this thing has gone. So I'm fine with him as well if that ends up being the thing. No, Jeff Hafley, he's off the table. He actually just got his coaching job. So thank God, because Colin, you being a Packer guy, I can only imagine how you feel about him. But I thought he was.
I listen. I actually like Jeff Hafley with the Packers. I think very highly of him. I just wanted nothing to do with him.
Yeah.
So
I don't know. The way he refused to make adjustments was giving me Mike Tomlin PTSD. So, like, watching Baltimore just run it down his throat 40 times in a row, and he didn't do nothing different. I was like, nope, that's enough to sell me on it. Nope, not doing it. I'm going to butcher this dude's name. Ejiro Evero, the DC from Carolina.
Rooney Rule.
Another one, I have no idea. No one has said anything about this guy.
Yeah.
So is there something I'm missing here?
I don't know. The only things that I've seen about him is he's a disciplinarian. Like he leads like a military style leadership.
He's from the UK.
The Carolina defense. I mean, the Carolina defense was solid this year. I mean, but they have a good bit of talent on that defense as well. I mean, in spots, not all the way across, but I don't know. He definitely is not my favorite pick.
I will say he did do well with Carolina's rookies these past couple years. He has done well. That is one thing, because they have a couple rookie edge rushers, and then they had a rookie safety, I believe, last year. This year was Lathan Ransom. Had a good year. Buckeye kid, I believe.
Oh, yeah.
And then Nick Scorton, the edge rusher out of Texas A&M, fell the second, also had a good year. So I do give him props for doing well with the rookies. But anyway.
Jesse Minter, his name keeps getting thrown around there, but I'm not a Jesse Minter guy. Aside from the Buckeye stuff, like I'm not sold on Jesse Minter.
He would be fourth on my list. What I have here, 42 years old, Ravens defensive assistant and DBs. So John Harbaugh for 4 years, Michigan defensive coordinator, 2 top 5 defenses in college those years, as well as Chargers defensive coordinator. So that is both Harbaugh brothers. Kind of the same sentiment with the Clint Kubiak. Like, you work under both Harbaugh brothers, it's hard to fuck that up. So
yeah,
he is number 4 on my list. Well, he was 5. I was upset that Pittsburgh didn't do a virtual with Stefanski, if I'm being totally honest.
Actually, it's Stefanski in my top 5 too.
I think a mature, I'll watch my words, a mature organization would have interviewed virtually with Stefanski, but he was gone already. But with him getting hired, Minter's up to my 4th spot.
Okay. Any thoughts on Minter, Corb?
No, it's just another guy that, like, what has he done? No one really says that much about him from my knowledge. So it's like, just not a guy that really impresses me. I don't know. I'm biased, man. I want offensive guys. I really do. Like, the only defensive guy where I'm like, yes, is Shula. That's it. Honestly, the rest for me is offensive guys. And Shula, nothing against him, but one of the reasons that I want him, if I have a choice, if get one of those guys, is because he'll pull more Rams guys with him.
Yeah.
Besides that, I mean, I know look what that Rams defense is doing. It's the cheapest defense in the league. So obviously, but in general, I want him because I know he'll bring
the development of the young guys on that Rams team. I mean, Byron Young was a third rounder. He's going to be an all-pro. Kobe Turner, a third rounder, going to be an all-pro 3 years ago. I mean, Nate Landman was a fucking undrafted free agent. They got off a practice squad of Philly. Yeah. And he's going to be an all-pro middle linebacker. Yeah. I mean, the corner room, I mean, Emmanuel Forbes, albeit he's not that great, but he went from a first-round guy who got cut a year later into a guy who's made huge plays. I mean, again, not only the fact that it's the second cheapest defense, but the development of kind of, get what's the term? Making something out of nothing.
Yeah.
That's so impressive what he's done with that defense.
Yeah, for sure. What about this name right here? So obviously he gets fired after the Buffalo game.
I'm gonna say fuck no. Like that's the first thing I said, because there was three. I had 3 or 4 group chats of mine. Granted, they were all pretty casual football fans. They're not like we are, but they're like, oh, I would take a look at him. Nope. What's the point of going from Tomlin to White Tomlin?
Thank you. I was just about to say it. It's White Mike Tomlin. It really is. You got Josh Allen, and you can't win fucking jack shit.
Well, not only that, my biggest thing with him was that he was hired to be with Josh Allen because he was supposed to baby that defense. And how many times in the last 4 or 5 years has that defense just totally crumbled down the stretch?
Right.
Just totally fucked over that team.
They shit down their leg, man.
Right.
They do.
So why the fuck would we go from Black Tomlin to White Tomlin? I just, not to be insensitive.
They're very much the same guy, for real. They are
Right.
very, very much the same guy in the coaching styles.
Didn't they go to college together? Or they were college roommates?
They played
William and Mary.
Yeah.
William and Mary.
I mean,
yeah. I think they were both DBs together too. That's why I'm like.
Tomlin was a wide receiver and McDermott was a DB, I think.
That's right. Yeah, that's right. Tomlin was.
It leads me to say that's going to be a fuck no for me too.
Yes, that's pretty much all I had to say too.
I can't wait to see what Allen. I can't wait to see what Allen says about fucking about White Tomlin.
Brian Flores, he's maybe one of the bigger names on the list.
It's tough for me. I think he's a good coach. I do.
He is.
I do
but
too.
Again, I don't know what offensive coordinator he's going to bring in. Everybody hates him. Nobody wants to work with the guy. So, I can be like, okay, he's a great defensive mind. Great. But he's going to bring in nobody at OC. We're going to bring Matt Canada back because that's the only one that'll work with him. You know what I'm saying? That's the thing I worry about with Flores. Yeah, he's a really good coach, but dude, he's burned so many bridges. It doesn't guarantee me a guy from the Shanahan or the McVay guys coming in here to be the OC. So I pass. It's a pass for me.
That's my entire argument with him too. Same exact thing is I feel like he is a great coach, but we're going to go right back to being limited on who our coordinators are going to be. And we just lived through hell for what? I don't know. 13 years of Tomlin having bad coordinators?
Yes.
I mean, I don't want to go back there. I think if he wanted to come here as a DC, I would take him in a heartbeat. I'd sign him. I'd have the contract ready to roll.
I agree.
Sign on the bottom line right now. I think he's a phenomenal mind. I agree with you. I think that he's burned too many bridges and there's nobody who wants to work with him at this point. So
and I just find it a little bit suspicious that why are we the only team that's actively pursuing him as hard as we are?
Right.
The only team to have a scheduled fucking in-person interview. We were the very first team to do a virtual interview. Is that not a red flag that we're the only team that's really pursuing this?
Right.
I try not to look too hard at betting odds because Pittsburgh does typically fade those. But the fact that he's jumping up in betting odds is fucking terrifying. I
And
will
got
not
a second interview. Like
I
they've
will
already
I
heard-
will
it's
not
like,
do it.
what? Like it scares me that they're on the
I-
cusp of picking him.
I will not do it. I will not do it. And I said this at work today. I will not. I will retire my podcasting career. I will not do do Brian Flores, because that's just, to me, that's just a younger Tomlin. He's gonna want the yes men. He's gonna be like a disciplinarian CEO head coach ass gimmick. Fuck that. No, I won't do it.
Yeah.
And I hope Alan has the same sentiment, because I just won't do it.
Yeah, I
I
think
have 8 names written down here, and he's not one of them for that reason. So
yeah, I think he, if you know, I hate to say it, like, but if he would have done what he did to the NFL, he'd have had a head coaching job again by now. He would have been in the conversation. But the way that he burned all those bridges on the way out of Miami, and then added there was 3 teams in that lawsuit total. I think that now I forget who said it, and I wish I could give them credit. There was somebody who put out there that when he was here in the building in Pittsburgh, that all of them loved him. The team loved him. The staff loved him. The front office loved him. And I think that's evident in the fact that he's had 2 interviews right now. So take that for whatever it is. I'm not saying he's the guy. I'm just saying not everybody in the NFL hates him, obviously, because Pittsburgh's pursuing him, which is unfortunate.
Is that what the fuck they're looking for? They're trying to find the next Mike Tomlin. Is that what this is?
Maybe. Maybe.
Well, he's 10 years past what Tomlin was when he was hired, so that would be not,
he's older for what they look for.
Right.
Normally.
I will say, looking at his history, I mean, he did work under Belichick for 11 years, 3 years as a head coach in Miami, worked under, obviously, Kevin O'Connell for the last 3 years. So, again, like, it'd be hard to mess it up because he did work under Belichick in KOC. But I'm going to say it, and I'm going to keep saying it. I won't do it. I will not. I will not do it. No, Tommy, you're 100% correct.
No, there's
I will
nothing wrong
not
with
do
that
it.
at all.
I think
I won't do Flores.
Yeah, I'm out on Flores too. Schul's, look, I think we can say whatever we want about any of the interviews, because I think this is all basically preparing for Plan B, because I think Schul is their guy. I said it Friday. I think he's the worst kept secret. This is like the Najee Harris draft pick, the Kenny Pickett draft pick. This is the most obvious. Fucking Rooney knows what he wants, and he's going to go get it pick out of anybody in the fucking tree. Like, they want Chris Shula, and they're waiting on Chris Shula, but they're doing their due diligence on everybody else as well. Because the other thing that people don't think about, and you'll see, like, sometimes the people on Twitter will fucking freak out. Oh, they got this coach coming in. I don't want him, blah, blah, blah. Well, maybe he's a coordinator opportunity, because not everyone who's interviewing is going to get a job. There's a finite number of jobs out there, and not everybody's going to fill one of them. Like, so some of these guys might be a coordinator possibility for you. And when you hire the right guy, maybe they do bring in their guys. Like we talked about Shieldhouse possibly being the OC if he doesn't get a head coach job. But what about Flores being the DC if he doesn't get a head coach job? Like, they could be doing due diligence on both sides of this.
I would love it if Ajiro Vera was our DC. I mean, because right when we were talking about that, I literally pulled out the phone and wikied him and got the whole kit and caboodle for him. I mean, yeah, he's worked under a bunch of different teams. Mike McCarthy, Sean McVay, Sean Payton. I mean, Dave Canales, I think, is a good coach. I mean, he's done a lot. Quality control, special teams, offensive assistant, defensive assistant, quality control, safeties, secondary, passing game coordinator defensively under McVay. I mean, and also a military operation. Are you kidding me? There's no team in the NFL that needs that more than Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
Truly. Is there a team more undisciplined than Pittsburgh the last 6-8 years?
How many times do you hear communication issues?
Oh, yeah, the communication. And then you got the whole, like, Cam Hayward bitching and moaning about won't be able to feed his kids McDonald's if he doesn't get an extension, or, TJ Watt refusing to move around on the defense, or, Patrick Quinn and all of his flaws, JPJ and his penalties. Like,
yeah, I mean, I'm looking here in the top 15 in all team yards and in points. So this defense did do pretty good. And let's be honest,
contrary to what Trent said,
that
I don't
defense
think
wasn't
they had a very
supposed to be that
talented
great either.
defense. Right. I don't think that Carolina defense is all that talented. I don't know what the fuck.
No,
just in spots.
No.
I'm just saying there's guys on that defense that are talented, but not. I said not across the board. Definitely
not where
across
they're
the board.
competing top 15 in the league.
Yeah.
I wouldn't expect that. So I give the guy credit for that.
Yeah.
So DC,
especially when the offense was
okay.
very slow to start the season too. I mean, they struggled. So typically when the offense is struggling, the defense is going to put up some pretty shitty numbers, but I mean, they held pretty strong in that mid-range all season, I think. I don't
And had
remember
some
them being
upsets.
that
They had
low.
some upsets this year too.
Yeah. And he's only 45.
Yeah. Shieldhouse, he's another. I mean, he's maybe the hottest name of the young guys. What do you guys think about him? Because he's kind of our last guy that we're interviewing right now.
Yeah, please. Yes, I want him in the building. Period.
However you get him, huh?
Look, when you're going and saying this guy's the next Sean McVay, I'm in. Like, that's all I got to fucking hear. Whether it be the OC or the head coach, get him in the fucking building.
And it's not Sean McVay saying it's not like it's a, hey, here's an attaboy from my head coach. It's there's a lot of people around the league saying this. So
I don't give a fuck if he's here to be
there's
the water
something-
boy. Get him in the
there's
fucking
something
building.
to it.
Like, when I hear those
Colin-
kind of compliments,
Colin
Yeah.
feels otherwise down here. How are you
No?
feeling, Colin?
I mean, going from a passing game coordinator to a head coach is a big
it
jump.
is.
I
It
mean,
is.
only Sean McVay has ever done something like that. Nothing against him. Again, I'm sure he's a fantastic coach, and if I had it my way, he would 100%. I would give him a blank check to be the offensive coordinator next year. But again, he's 34 years old. He's only been a passing game coordinator or less. He doesn't have OC experience. He doesn't hit my top 3. He would be probably my 5 right now. I just think it's a huge jump. Now, if we hire him, am I going to be upset? Okay, let me just be clear when I say, like, I will be a lot more upset with Flores, or if it, God forbid, Halfley, as I would be for Shieldhouse. I wouldn't be pissed about it. I just think we should be a little bit more cautious.
Here's the thing I'll say for that kid, though. If you hire him, then part of the hiring process for the coordinators, you've got to get a guy in the building who's done it.
Yep.
As
There
a
you
head
go.
coach.
And
that's where the Brian Flores thing would get really, really interesting. Or not necessarily him, but like just a guy like that brings some pedigree to the building. Maybe an experienced OC, an experienced DC. So like, I mean, let's say Stefanski doesn't get a head coaching job. I think he will, but let's say he doesn't. He's out there. Bring him in. He ran really well in a dysfunctional Browns organization. So I think if you're going to bring a guy like that in, part of the hiring process for the coordinators, of course, he's going to be the one making those decisions. But I think if you're like Omar and Weidel and Rooney, say, hey, listen, man, make this easy on yourself. Bring a guy in who's done this before, who can help get you through the steps, because that first training camp is going to be rough as a first-time coach, never being a coordinator. So like that part will be interesting to see how that plays out. But I would rather take a young mind that is that talented a year too soon than wait a year too late and go get a guy who maybe we don't know if it's going to last 3 years. We know Pittsburgh won't fire somebody, but like I'd rather take a shot at a guy who's being talked about in the same breath as McVay than settle for a guy that just because he's been a coordinator in the league. That's all I can say about it.
That whole Sean McVay comment thing came from a Rams reporter who's in the fucking building and sees what these other coaches and players and all them say about this guy. So if they're all saying this, they're all thinking this, man, that gets me excited to where I'm willing to take a couple bumps on the road to get where we're going with this guy. That's the way I look at it. But I will say this. If you told me right now I get Shula and I'm guaranteed to get Shieldhouse with him, I'm pouncing.
Sign me up. Oh,
Give
yeah.
it to me right fucking now.
That's
Yeah,
a dream scenario.
100%.
That's where I'm at. Give me those two right fucking now.
Yeah.
And then
I think
take them and go, here, do whatever the fuck you want. Whatever coaches you want, whatever you got to do.
There you
Get it
go,
right.
Vaughn. Yeah. Yeah, no, I mean, my you know how I feel about Shula, Mr. Trent. You know, God, is that a Flores fucking comment? Get that off my screen.
I put that up just for you, Colin.
And you did that just to
To get Colin going. You know what? You taking Flores out of the DC picture. You know who would be perfect if you did bring in Shieldhouse, Raheem Morris, great DC guy. Has been
Was
a
he
head
a great
coach.
DC?
I thought he was a good.
He's a good DC.
Maybe great. Maybe
I just
great
don't think he's a
stretch.
good head
Good
coach.
DC. He did not pan out well as a head coach, but he's been there, done it as a head coach at least.
Twice he hasn't
So
panned out as a
therefore-
head coach.
Yeah, so
But he
therefore,
does
at least-
well as a DC. That's what
at
gets
least he
him
could
these
help
head
you.
coach jobs. But
And he's probably going to be a guy who settles in, understanding that he's not probably getting a third shot.
Well, I hope he goes the Steve Spagnuolo route. He has to. Spagnuolo, after his second stint in New York, realized very quickly, you know what? I'm a DC, and I'm damn good at it. So that's what Raheem Morris needs to do. Yeah.
But I that's only if you get Shieldhouse. If you get Chris Shula in the building, I'm with Corb on this. If Shieldhouse and Shula come together, I mean that's the dream scenario, and then you can pick any DC you want out of your lineup.
You could keep Terrell Austin.
no,
Even Terrell Austin can't fuck up Shula's defense. That's what
That's what I'm saying. Like you
I
can
don't-
keep Terrell Austin at that point.
I don't want that guy in the state of Pennsylvania. Get him the fuck out of here. I'm done. No. See ya.
Oh, that's amazing.
If he coaches the Bengals, that's too close. Get that dude the fuck away from me.
He did coach the Bengals once, didn't he? Wasn't he
Yeah.
in Cincinnati for a
Yeah.
couple of years?
Yep. Tomlin went, sign me up for that. Thanks, Tomlin. Thanks.
Oh shit. I don't really have much more on the coaches. Do you guys have any other comments about the coaches, or did I forget anything?
Who's your top three right now as we stand?
I'm definitely Shula's one. I've kind of flipped, and it's only because I think he brings over more McVay guys. Because Clint Kubiak has been my one the entire time.
Same.
You could go 1A, 1B really between Clint Kubiak and Shula, and then I think honestly I would take the shot on Shieldhouse as my third. I would take that shot.
Counting those that haven't been interviewed yet, it's Clint, Kubiak, then it goes Shula and Shieldhouse for me. But counting guys that just got interviewed, then it's Shula, Shieldhouse, and I'm gonna say Clay. I want the Kubiak if I can't get fucking Shieldhouse or Shula. That's just I want one from those two trees. I don't give a fuck.
Same here. Did you have a different
by the
list,
way,
Colin?
I'm sorry. Go ahead, Colin. Go ahead. If you have a different.
No,
list.
you go.
No, I was going to bitch real quick. This whole idea that Tomlin not having a tree doesn't mean anything is fucking bullshit. You want to know why? Because how comes McVay has a tree? How comes Shanahan has a tree? How comes Andy Reid has a tree? Belichick had a tree. This whole idea that you don't need a tree to be considered a really great Hall of Fame coach is bullshit and just more excuses. Because if that was the case, then these young guys wouldn't have a tree already. Because that's how fucking good they are. They're still young and now already have a tree.
Yeah. I mean, even look at like the coaches who dominated like before this little era. I mean, Cowher had a good tree. Mike Shanahan, the OG Shanahan, had a good tree. Don Shula, Bill Parcells, fucking all these guys had a tree except Tomlin.
Right.
He inherited Dick LeBeau and Bruce Arians. Could your job be any easier?
Right.
Could you have an easier job?
I just like I'm not trying to say that Mike Tomlin's not going to make the Hall of Fame. I'm not saying that. He's got accolades to help him with that. But the idea that like the excuses of just because he doesn't have a tree, trees don't matter, bullshit. Like
he has the accolades, really? Where's his Coach of the Year award?
Well, they're gonna go to he's got the Super Bowl, he's got the 2 appearances, he's got the
Cowher's
fucking
team.
19-year non-losing streak. But they won't say that, Colin. They'll never say that.
Yeah.
They wouldn't dare. So he's gonna make the Hall of Fame. But I just the whole excuse about him not having a tree, fuck that. That's bullshit.
I agree.
Because guys way younger than him already have a tree. which
Yep,
Correct.
is all I need to know.
And he was responsible for them not having a tree as well, because he didn't want a guy
Oh,
in the
yeah.
building who could become a head coach because he didn't want that insecurity in the building.
Dude,
And that's
Sean
that's the
McVay's not
difference.
even 40. Sean McVay's not even 40 yet.
Right.
He has 10 playoff wins, and his tree consists of like 9 guys.
It's dude.
I've always thought as a leader, like there's two different leaders in the world. There's the leader who wants to, watch others succeed, and that's the Shanahans and the McVays of the world that like bring people up and do not hold talent back and let them move forward. And then there's the guys who don't want anybody who could be a risk to make them look bad, and that's the Tomlin. I mean, he did not want an OC or a DC who could potentially take his job one day. He just didn't want him in the building. And you got these other younger guys that are completely fine. And then they're not worried if a guy moves on to get a head coaching job. Because guess what? We got 5 more in the building ready to go to bump up to that role, that same role that guy just left. And like, if imagine if Tomlin had stayed and Arthur Smith leaves and Austin leaves, everybody in Pittsburgh's shitting the bed about who the coordinators are going to be because he can't hire any. Like, nobody wants to work with the guy. So that says a lot about his leadership style in the coaching realm, in my opinion.
Yep.
So
In the world of the blind, a one-eyed man is king.
there you go. Clint was not the one that has the scheduled interview. It's Clay that has the interview on.
Yeah. But yeah, my top 3, Shula, Clint Kubiak, obviously, and then I'm still sticking with the Mike LaFleur. So.
Oh, I was gonna ask you
You
about
can't.
that, like to bring him up because I don't. They haven't interviewed him, right?
No. He was
But
on the list.
Isn't that the
No,
one that's
actually,
been
not
under
many
both
teams have.
Shanahan and McVay though, Colin?
Yeah, so Mike LaFleur, 38 years old. He was the Niners pass game coordinator / receivers for 4 years under Shanahan. He was the Jets OC for a couple years there, and then he's been the Rams OC for the last 3 years. So,
Later, Vaughn.
yep. So he's been there, done that.
Yeah. I'd say so
But-
too.
But no interview.
And,
yet,
and he's
so-
and he's Matt's brother. So
It's kind of shocking his name's not been thrown around more. I hadn't even thought about him because his name was like
There
out
is
there nowhere
something-
until I think, was it you or Dave that brought him? Was Dave the one that brought him up?
No, it's Colin.
Colin brought him up. Yeah, I was shocked. Like, I could not believe he's not had really any interest.
there's something the league knows about him that we don't. 100%, because he's got the LaFleur bloodline. He's got the worked under McVay and Shanahan. Again, he's only 38 years old. So my thinking realistically is that he must have really fucked some shit up when he was the Jets OC. He must have been like a dumpster fire, which
Yeah.
I mean,
Because to
Zach
my point,
Wilson.
you haven't heard nothing about him. No
Right.
one has come out and said, "Oh, this guy's this,"
Yeah.
or you want, nothing.
and that was
So,
the Zach Wilson dumpster fire.
oof.
So
Obviously, that maybe his leadership skills in the room aren't that strong, and that's why teams
Could be
have
it
picked
too.
up on this. I mean,
he might not have the soft skills.
Oh, he's young.
Sometimes,
How
yeah.
old is he now?
38.
Okay, yeah, he's young as shit. So
yeah,
But he might not have the soft skills. That's how some guys are.
it's hard to tell with that one. I didn't have any. Do you guys have anything else on the coaching front?
no.
All right, we're not gonna get too long because the national championships going on here should be kicking off any minute now. But one of the questions I want to save all the free agent stuff. But one of the questions I want to ask you guys is, Aaron Rodgers. They say the window is not closed on him coming back here.
Nope.
Either of you guys have any interest in bringing him back at this point?
It's for what?
Right. Right.
I don't know. I just I don't know. Like I want to start over. Is that does that make sense? Like just
Yeah.
let's be done with all of it, start over, and get these new guys in here to just deal with younger guys. I have no interest in a 42, 43-year-old
43.
Rodgers.
Yeah.
So
He's going to be 44 next year. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'm with Corb here, man. Like, I tweeted this like the other day. Like, I will always appreciate him. He's a top 5 quarterback of all time.
right.
He
Right.
bought in. He bought in with the culture. He was close with the guys. He obviously gave a shit. He cared. And I'll appreciate it, but there's no point of running it back. Like there simply is just no point. So
I will tell you this. I put together a top 5 free agent list of quarterbacks out there. I didn't put him on there because that's how much I don't want him back. Not because I thought he was like the worst quarterback in the world, but if you're cleaning house, clean house. I mean, just clean house. Like, and it's just an unfortunate thing for Aaron because I think he wanted to prove that he still had a little bit left in the tank, and this team was just so up and down this year that he maybe didn't quite get to show the full gravity of what he was capable of, especially with the guys he's surrounded with. You know, Adam Thielen isn't exactly a burner who's going to get open on routes, and MVS never really was.
He came here. He actually tried. He tried to make something out of this.
Yeah, he bought in. He did everything. But he can't move. He's done.
He is done. I think he should retire. I mean, he should retire. I mean, his game at this point is just the quick game, get the ball out of your hands in 2 seconds or less. And
can I be honest about something?
You can't play that.
Can I be honest about something? I'm stuck between a rock and a hard place here, because a part of me wants to see them just absolutely fucking tank and do horrendous because of that quarterback class in 27. But Rooney says they're gonna be going all out. So like I had that where I'm like, okay, no, they're not gonna do that. So I might as well just buy all into whatever they got to do. But that's why I'm like this with Rodgers. Like it's like if there's no Rodgers, then I feel like okay, maybe this team is gonna not have a great season, and we can get that high draft pick with this quarterback class coming up in 27. But that's where I'm at with this. It's why like it's ran its course with Rodgers. And I just, in a way, I feel like let's see if they do bad enough to get a high draft pick, or is the new coaching staff so good, so much better that they actually have a great. I don't know. It's tough.
I told Dave I don't think it would be like the worst case scenario. So he put something out there on X. I said if they brought Rodgers back, it's not the worst case scenario. It really isn't the worst case scenario. You could definitely find worse, but
Mason.
Yeah, Mason would be worst case scenario. I just don't think I want to do it. I mean, even if you brought in, because like, let's say we do what everyone in Pittsburgh wants us to do. We use the first round pick on a wide receiver. We find a guy like the kid out of Washington, or if Mekhi Lemon falls and you get him, like, and then you go, and then Denzel Boston, and then if you go in the third round. And you pick out like a slot guy in the third round who's going to be, a branch out of Georgia. Maybe if he falls into the third round, you get that quick, shifty, like playmaker guy and you surround him with actual weapons. You don't know. Rodgers might have been a little better, but you're not going to get the guy who throws for 4,000 yards and 30 plus touchdowns. That guy's just gone. So like you might win a couple games with him, but
he's way gone.
He's just done. He's cooked at this point. I'd rather go with a young quarterback.
Yes.
I mean, we're going to do War Room tomorrow, Bob and I, and we're going to do free agent episode around quarterbacks. Malik Willis is the guy. You just take a shot on the kid. If it falls on its face, it falls on its face, and you got a high draft pick.
I want it to be Malik Willis, Howard, and a draft pick. Like say a day 3 draft pick. Those 3 to compete for the starting gig and be done with it.
Draft Drew out in the third round. Start him.
Sure.
You could go that route too.
Day 3 pick, have them, Howard and Willis have a legit 3 off for the starting gig. And if they suck, they suck. And we get a high draft pick. If we somehow hit the lottery with Willis, maybe he is actually legit, or if Howard or whoever, then so be it. But I'd rather that than go back to Rodgers.
You got to go with a young guy at least.
Yes.
Gary says, why not trade a 4th or a 5th for Davis Mills?
Whatever.
I don't know if I'm that sold on him.
Dude, it just comes down to like, where do you see the ceiling of this team? Whole new staff, aging, expiring contract. Right. So that's like, I know a lot of fans you'd be shocked at the the people who don't understand the concept of like you can't just go like 10
Yeah,
7
right.
11 and 6 every year.
And yes, and learning a new system. It's going
Right.
to take them
It's
a
going to
long
take a couple
time
years.
to get in that groove.
It's going to take a couple
So-
years. Listen, I've been saying it for years. I've been totally prepared. Tomlin's got to go. We're going to have a down year or two. Guess what? It's football, right?
Yeah.
I mean, the Patriots were 4-13 last year, and they're going to be playing in the Super Bowl. So, you know, it's just like, you know, yeah, that's. I don't have much else to.
Yeah, Pittsburgh fans are just going to have to accept the fact that we're in a rebuild. We may not go into a total tank rebuild like what, you know.
No,
the
we'll go like
Dolphins did for
7-10.
Tua. Yeah, but we
We're
are
like
definitely going to go through a rebuild. And I will dive more into this as the offseason goes, but there's going to be some contracts we need to get rid of too on this team. And so you're going to lose some talent by dumping some contracts, and you might fill that talent with the draft. I mean, we got 12 picks. You don't know how many of them are going to be starters. I mean, so far, we've gotten a lot of starters out of our drafts in the last 3 drafts. So
in the 4th round, we've
Yeah.
we've hit on 4th round, what, 3 years in a row?
Yep. So, I mean, it may not be a super long rebuild if we do the right things, but part of that is going to be dumping some contracts, and part of that is also not bringing back a soon to be 44-year-old quarterback.
Dude, he's got a noodle arm, and he was a 6th round pick. Can we just give it up? I'm sorry. We just have to give it up.
I'm not there yet, Colin.
A+ draft pick.
I want to see him get given a shot.
All right, lads.
Mindset of poison pressure. All right. It is the national championship. I'm just going to be rooting for the Big Ten just because.
Fuck the
Big Ten.
convicts.
Let's get the
Fuck
Big
the
Ten.
convicts. Go
Get the
Hoosiers.
Big Ten a third in a row here.
Hoosiers? Yeah. Come on now.
Yeah, I mean, come on. Indiana's never done it, right?
Yeah.
No.
And they get to beat the convicts. Sign me up.
I just want to see how much cocaine Michael Irvin snorts on the sidelines if Miami loses, because he's definitely doing something if they're winning.
Belt to ass on the water cooler.
Yes.
It's cinema.
All right, boys. Appreciate you guys coming on, and we will see you next week. Everybody in the chat, you guys were fantastic as always. Like, share, subscribe. Tomorrow we are doing a War Room at, I believe, 7 o'clock. So join us in Steelers Sanctuary for a War Room special edition focusing on some free agent quarterbacks. I will tell you one thing in advance. It's not a great look. Till then, have a good one.
And just like that, I left everything. See ya!